This is the Weekend Break with Peter Grubby Stubbs.
I'll wait for the bass and the cash registers. Love this. 7 minutes past 3. I'm sitting in front of Michelle Galvin from Acorn Wealth. This is Weekend Wealth. Good afternoon to you, Michelle.
Good afternoon.
It's a beautiful day going out there.
Oh, fantastic.
Going all right, isn't it?
Fantastic.
This is a bit more like it.
Yeah.
Puts a spring in your step.
Yeah, definitely.
Lovely.
Definitely. We love it.
Absolutely. How's your week been?
Week's been fantastic.
Been busy?
You know? Yes, always busy. And lots of questions coming through from people who didn't get through last week. So that was great.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah. So
Really good.
if you couldn't get through last week, apologies. But I'm pretty sure we got back to all of you.
Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Finance questions. We all want to know stuff. 133693. This is free advice we're giving. It's advice in general.
That's right.
You will direct someone to a financial advisor.
Yes.
Rather than say, sell the house, sell it now, get what you can, and then come back to me in a year. No, you're not going to tell people to do that.
No.
But
No,
general
we will
financial
not.
advice is fantastic.
Yeah, we welcome it all the time.
Weekend Wealth with Michelle Galvin from Acorn Wealth. Now, finance questions, we've got lines free at the moment. 133693. Okay, here's some questions that have come through to you, Michelle. This is from Paul. I'm still working and just turned 66. That's pretty common, obviously. I was told that my super should be converted to a pension fund, but I don't actually need additional income. Can you shed any light on why I would do this?
Okay, Paul, if you're listening, whoever's told you that is spot on. If you've got a superannuation fund that is still in what's called accumulation phase when you're 65 years of age, the best thing to do is to convert that to a pension. You'll save a lot of tax because when it's in accumulation mode, the tax on the income that you earn on your super is taxed at 15%. So to avoid that, we convert it to a pension. Now, the good thing is if you're still working, or even those who are not still working, if you don't need the income, you can actually put it back into super in most circumstances.
Okay.
So that's really good.
So you can get the super and then put it straight back, is that what?
Yeah, 9 times out of 10. I mean, there is some criteria, but I would say 90% of the people can do that.
So Paul or someone's got their super wrapped up in shares and money managed funds and all of that. How does that actually, what do you do to actually convert that to then a pension fund, say $6,000 a month or whatever?
Yeah, sure. Most superannuation funds have their pension accounts that you can choose. So if you're, say, with a Australian Super or a, Macquarie or something like that, if you're in a super accumulation phase, it will have a pension option. You will still need to keep your superannuation open if you're still working because your employer will want to continue to pay you your contributions, obviously. But, and with the pension money that you get, you can actually put that back into that super fund.
Okay, what if you're in a self-managed super fund? How does it
that's
come
probably
through then?
a little easier because the accountant will do some bit of pen work and create a pension. You will then take it and then do it all via paper, so to speak. It's still got to, the pension needs to still come through to a personal bank account.
So they'll sell shares and do all sorts of
Yeah,
stuff. What have you got super tied up in shares?
Normally, a lot of people with self-managed super funds have cash.
Yes.
And so the pension money would come from
Like
that
in
cash.
money managed funds,
Correct.
etc.
Yeah, exactly
Okay.
right. Yeah. So that's fine. But yeah, from a self-managed super perspective, it's probably a little easier because you don't have to go and open accounts and do all that sort of business. In saying that, it is quite an easy process if you've got a financial advisor that helps you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent work. 133693. Lines are all free at the moment. This is free advice we're getting. But in the meantime, there's another one. Question from Joan. She's admitted it. 71 years of age. Nothing to be ashamed of there, Joan. My husband recently passed away. Sorry to hear that, Joan. And left me his super as his beneficiary. I wanted to add this to my own super fund, but was told this is not allowed and needs to be held as a separate super fund. I feel that is not correct. but I want to double check. Michelle.
Good one, Joan. And again, sorry about your husband. Yes, it is correct. So when your husband passed away, I guess you being the beneficiary, you are entitled to that super. There's no problems there. But that super needs to remain as a death benefit. Okay, so if your husband was drawing a pension, it would be a death benefit pension and cannot be mixed with your super money. Because you are 71, though, depending on how much super you've got, you can actually withdraw parts of that. And I think I spoke about that last week. You can actually withdraw some of that super and then put it into your superannuation. So that would go in as a tax-free contribution. So it's not a bad idea, but it's really one that potentially you might want to make contact with us because they are quite complex areas of financial planning. But we do see that often where, we do have those death benefit pensions and, then all of a sudden you've got to run two pensions, which is never great because, it's hard to manage, I guess.
It gets complicated.
It does get complicated and, you're sort of managing two pots of money. Always best to have one, but sometimes that can't be avoided. And, as I said, it is a complex area of financial planning and really good. If you've got a financial advisor, I would suggest that you get in contact with them or you're more than welcome to give us a call.
Yeah, please. And how do we get in contact with you, by the way? Because a lot of people have been asking me.
Yes.
That Michelle goes all right.
Just contact us via our website at www.acornwealth.com.au.
Easy. Clean it up. Heather, good afternoon to you.
Hi. My husband just passed away a few months ago.
Sorry to hear that.
And I'm a pensioner. I've got no superannuation. I'm asset rich. I've only owned my house. And I was wondering about these companies that advertise withdrawing funds against your house value.
Good question. Yeah, what are your thoughts, Michelle?
Heather, sorry to hear about your husband. Oh, it's two in a row, Joan and Heather. Heather, yes, they are. So there are what's called reverse mortgages, and then there are equity release options that you can have. The most popular, I guess, provider for that is HomeSafe. This is not a plug for HomeSafe, but it's pretty much the one I know that works for a lot of our clients.
You'd know better than me.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with them, Heather, but you've got to understand that just because they're releasing you $100,000 doesn't mean that one day when you sell your house, all you have to pay back is $100,000. Probably looks more like $200,000. But in saying that, I guess what normally happens is they'll come out and value your home and give you an appraisal to tell you how much you can actually release from your home. You don't have to release the whole lot. You would release the amount that you want, and then you can invest those funds, and you would still, depending on what you do with those funds, you would still remain on the pension so long as you don't take out, say, $1 million or something like that.
Is there a limit to what Heather can do?
Look, because it's an equity release, in effect, you've sold that part of your house to that provider, okay? So because you're single, Heather, you have to be mindful of the assets limits under the pension, okay? So as a homeowner, just keep it under 320 thousand and you'll be right. So if you're going to pull out, say, 200,000, that's completely fine.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Good luck to you, Heather. And is that a good thing? What do you think of the reverse mortgage? We hear the ads all the time. You mentioned HomeSafe.
Yeah.
Is it one of those things that, as a financial advisor, say, yep, do it. You need a bit of cash, do it.
Yeah, look, reverse mortgages you have to be very careful of because there is an interest component and that does, I suppose, compound over your life. So you have to be very careful.
Okay, but you die and it's going to fall on your beneficiaries.
Correct.
Yeah, but as long as you explain to your beneficiaries, I'm doing this because I want to live a bit.
Yes.
Are you okay with it? And they might say, hang on a minute.
Yeah. And look, with the cost of living, the pension is a hard one to live on, especially as a single pensioner.
Yeah, well, costs are going up all the time.
Yeah, and look, not all of us want to sell our homes.
No.
They're our family homes. We're attached to them. All our things are there. So
it's an emotional thing.
Correct, yeah.
But it's big and it's worth X amount, and do I really need all this? There's that.
There is downsizing as well that you can look at. That's right.
One more call before the break. Lindsay, good afternoon to you.
Hello.
Hi, Liz.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, I've retired. been retired for around 10 years, and I'm thinking about cashing in my super. When I do that, will I have to pay any, like, capital gains or anything?
Capital gains. Lindsay, why do you want to cash in your super?
Well, I'm actually going to be moving out of the country and trying to get everything settled.
Okay. So the short answer is no, there is no tax because you're over 60, and you are retired, so that's not an issue at all. So you have declared that you are retired. Once you're over 60, you can declare retirement. You can pull out at your super with no tax at all. However, if your superannuation is in what's called accumulation phase, there could be some capital gains tax within the super itself. So it's not a bad idea to convert it to a pension and then withdraw it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Do I have to tell the tax department that I have actually retired, even though they should know because I haven't worked in that time?
No, it's actually a declaration you make on the form for your superannuation fund. You just tick a box to say that you're over 60 and have retired.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Lindsay, good luck to you, and hope that helps. Good on you, mate. More calls after the break. We have lines free, but this is free financial advice and vital financial advice too. This is Week in Wealth with Michelle Galvin from Acorn Wealth. Number to ring, it's very easy. Lines free, 133 693. Any finance questions next here on the Weekend Break. This is Week in Wealth with Michelle Galvin from Acorn Wealth. Now, what was your number again? Because people are asking me, oh, that girl's good. What's her name again? Have you got a number? Have you got a card? No, I don't carry Michelle's card with me.
You should.
I probably should now. So how do people get onto you?
Okay, so our phone number is 1300 455 170. Mm-hmm. And we have two offices, one in Queen Street, Melbourne, and one in Notting Hill.
Great. I'll go to the Notting Hill one just in case there's some funny people running around.
Yeah.
You can email admin@acornwealth.com.au. If you don't laugh about it, you just cry, don't you?
Yes.
Julie has called in on 133693. Hello, Julie.
Oh, hi, Grubby and Michelle. Just a question, not a question, just to advise that lady, which you might not know, about reverse mortgage. If she's on the pension, the government's only brought this in about 3 or 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. You can go to Centrelink and say that you want to do a reverse mortgage for your house. Mm-hmm. And what they do is you say, well, I want an extra $400 a pay from the pension.
That's right. And
they come out and assess it and do everything. And so if you die within 12 months, you only have to pay interest on the $12,000 instead of paying interest on
Correct.
the $100,000 that you've taken. And it's safe, and it's not, the interest isn't as high as everyone else. And it's a great idea for people that just don't know what to do.
Yeah, so Julie, thank you for that. We have used that in the past where people are a little short on income rather than needing a big lump sum. We tend to see a lot of people needing the lump sums to re-stump their homes or, really big ticket items, which Centrelink can't really cover. But if you are needing a little bit of extra income, that is an excellent idea. So thank you, Julie.
Julie, thanks for your call. Christine, good afternoon.
Oh, hi. I was just thinking of your caller before the break sort of said, what happens if you cash in your super before, when you're 60 and you make a declaration to say that you're not working?
Yep.
Well, what happens if or even if you transfer it over to a pension, well, what happens if you start working again, say, in a year or two?
Yep.
What happens then?
Okay, Christine. So on the day of making the declaration, you are retired. There's nothing to say that the next day you've changed your mind and decided to go back to work. So you sign a declaration on the day and you ensure that you are not employed and you are officially retired, but there is nothing wrong in returning back to work at all. It does not interrupt what you've done with your super fund.
So what ramifications are there, say, for, your pension or Centrelink or what happens?
With Centrelink, if you go back to work, obviously you have to let them know and there'll be a reassessment done. You might be cut off the pension, but there's no ramifications as such. So you can make that declaration and have your pension and then, a few weeks later decide, yeah, I'm going to go and do a casual job, or actually, you know what, this isn't working for me, I'm going back to work. So you can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, some of my friends have retired, but then they realise that that's not really what they really wanted, and they they become a bit lonely, and they enjoy the I know.
Social.
Just a bit of comfort, probably, and being socially involved at the office.
Well, that's exactly right.
That's why a lot of us still work through to an age, isn't it, Michelle?
That's right. And, if you are a couple and you're on the pension, and if you one of you decides to go back to work, you can actually earn up to about $380 a fortnight without losing any pension. So it's not bad.
Good thing. Christine, thank you for your call. Grant, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Grubby and Michelle. Just calling in regards to a self-managed super fund we have for my business.
Mm-hmm.
So we've set that up. We're advised to set that up in regards to looking at property for the company to kind of rent back to itself.
Mm-hmm.
The commercial property sector is very highly inflated at the moment, so our money's just sitting in bank cash fund, not earning much. So I was just curious. I wasn't sure if we could be investing into something like a Vanguard fund, managed fund. I just don't know what kind of managed funds we can get that money into to get it earning better return.
No worries, Grant. So because you've got a self-managed super fund, every self-managed super fund has what's called an investment strategy. So if your investment strategy that your accountant has drawn up allows for shares or, cash and all those sort of things, that's not a problem. And so you can invest in exchange-traded funds. There's no prevention there. Bear in mind that if you do find a property and you need to cash out those funds, there is a internal capital gains tax that needs to be paid if you've made a profit. Or, when you buy them, there's brokerage as well. So just take into consideration all the costs of doing that. But if it's going to be quite a while before you buy that property for your business, having it invested is far better than just leaving it in cash.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So they will be able to advise on what funds we can, because you can't invest into the large industry-based funds, can you?
Oh, well, it's already a self-managed super fund, so it wouldn't be advisable for you to do that. But you can make your own choices. You can see a financial advisor and get proper advice as to how to invest those funds. It's not your accountant that gives you advice, it's the financial advisor.
Okay, perfect.
Good on you, Grant.
No worries, Grant.
Thanks so much for your call. Sarah, good afternoon.
Hi, good morning. Good afternoon, sorry. Just wondering, if I'm over 70 and if I take a full allocated pension, can I still reinvest some of that money back in?
It depends on your circumstances, Sarah, what your balance of your allocated pension is. There's so many depends. In short, yes. You could if you really wanted to. I don't see a reason why you would do that unless if you're working and did not need the income. Most of the time when we're over, say, 67 or even 70, the allocated pensions that we would recommend are for genuine use of expenditure. So it really depends on your situation of what you're doing. So are you working, Sarah?
Not working, and I've got the amount of money, if I went on a full allocated pension, would be more than I needed.
I see.
But I'd rather not pay the tax. So I thought if I'm a full pension, I would take the 5% and not pay the tax on it, but reinvest the part that I don't need.
Okay, when you say pay the tax, are you putting that in the bank and then having to pay tax on interest or something like that, are you?
Well, yes. So the bottom line is, just say I've got $1 million, for example, and I'm taking, if I take the allocated pension, I have to take have to take out $50,000 a year. But if I don't need to use that $50,000, can I put like 10,000 or 20 back into the pension fund?
I guess the disadvantage in doing that, Sarah, is when it goes into accumulation mode, it's taxed at 15%, those earnings. So you really need to do the math on it and work out whether that's in your best interest. So just be careful with that. It really works well when, I guess, you're still working and you can, you've got a higher tax bracket. But if you are over, 70, is that what you said? You'll be entitled to seniors tax offsets and things like that to reduce the tax. So it might still be beneficial to accumulate it in the bank. But, I would definitely speak to a financial advisor about that, because there are a lot of other things you can do rather than put it in the bank or into super.
Okay then. Thank you very much.
Good on you, Sarah.
pleasure.
Good luck to you. And last call, Mike, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Grubby and Michelle. I love your
Hello.
program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
I just have a query. I'm over 75
Yep.
and fully retired.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm what you might call asset-rich, cash poor.
Okay.
And what's happening is that the ATO, through my accounts, of course, have told me that I have to spend at least $70,000 a year per annum. And I don't understand why I have to. I'm not claiming pension and all that sort of thing.
Okay. When you say spend, do you mean draw from your pension $70,000 a year?
Well, I guess I do, because it's out of
Okay.
my super fund, yes.
Yeah, because I would love it if someone said to me, go spend $70,000.
Oh,
That would be great.
That'd be my best friend.
That'd be great, but if you haven't got the cash, you're
Yeah,
going to have to
okay.
sell or something. But I
Yeah,
think that's the
so
only
it
sort of-
sounds like that you've got an allocated pension where there are minimum amounts that you need to take. Would I be correct there?
That sort of sounds right. But
Yes.
I don't know fully. So
Do you have a self-managed superannuation, Mike?
yes, I do.
Yeah, okay. So what that basically means, every superannuation fund, when it is in pension mode, you must take the minimum, okay? And,
Right.
in your case, that is clearly $70,000 per annum, okay? And if that's too much for you, then there are a couple of things you can do. One, you can withdraw some of that superannuation and invest it elsewhere, which will reduce the minimum amount that you need to take. Or you can take your $70,000 and invest the excess, much like the previous caller, into other sort of investments that potentially carry tax advantages, or you can gift it. There are so many different things you can do. But it's
But having said that, if I haven't got 70,000, how do I spend it? As
if you haven't got 70,000, you mean?
Yeah, I haven't got $70,000 in cash.
Oh,
that I
in
can just
cash.
withdraw.
Okay, so you're having to sell down assets to do that. Is that right?
It looks like that's what I'm going to have to do, yes.
Yeah, that's a shame.
I don't want to do that.
No.
I want to keep it,
I mean, the only way around that is to convert your super back into accumulation. But as I said to the previous callers, by having money in accumulation, you are paying 15% tax on the earnings. So that's not recommended. My recommendation to you, even though this is just general advice, is to realign your super to make sure that there is a cash component. A lot of us refer to it as a bucket type approach, where you do have cash that sits there that is able to pay that pension. And so if you're running shares or things like that, those dividends should be going into that cash account to fund your pension, because otherwise what you'll find is every year you're going to have to sell down assets. And whilst the market is great at the moment, it's not always great and may not always be in your favour.
The market is great because mine's sort of in land and that sort of thing, and a factory, and to sell them not the right time.
Right, okay.
That's my biggest problem.
Yeah, so you don't really have liquid assets in your super fund, is that correct? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so it sounds like you might need to do a bit of either have a good chat to your accountant and realign those assets, or see a financial advisor and get some of that those assets converted to cash. Now, I know you probably don't want to do that, or what you could actually do is put the assets back into your own personal name so you can unwind it out of the SMSF, but there are tax implications with that and costs, and you will need to seek advice to do that.
Thank you. Okay.
Good on you, Mike.
Good on you, Mike.
Thanks so much for your call, and best of luck. Sorry for all the calls we couldn't get to. Ring early next week, because Weekend Wealth with Michelle Galvin from Acorn Wealth will return at 3 o'clock next Saturday.
Yes, it will.
Thank you very much again, Michelle. Your phone number, 1300 455 170. But wait until you're back next week. Give us a ring here. But great seeing you, Michelle, and thank you.
Thank you. And once again, you can get us on our website at acornwealth.com.au or email us at admin@acornwealth.com.au.
That easy. Thank you, Michelle Galvin. And coming up next, Laura V joins me.